Hi, today from the Arlanda airport in Stockholm, Sweden. Today I will tell you about my journey from Sweden to Germany in the third part of the series Traveling in the Times of Pandemics. See you in the next part. Hi again. I am here in Stockholm, in the airport of Stockholm. As you see behind me, this is the departure table of the airport. Usually it is full of flights for the next few hours, but as you see, only a half of the first screen is occupied today, and it is not the flights for today, it's the flights for the next 2 days. So not much happens here as far as the flights are concerned. Really very scarce traffic. You can see which destinations are still active. It's Oslo, Frankfurt, Gällivare, Helsinki, Malmö, Luleå, Sveg, Göteborg, Paris, and Zurich today. And tomorrow, Copenhagen, Helsinki, Mariehamn, Sveg, Åre, Östersund, Frankfurt, Kiruna, Luleå, London, Amsterdam, Visby, and Minsk. So it is not like Sweden doesn't allow flights to foreign destinations. No, it's just the other nations, the other states that close the borders, that close the airports, and they don't allow air traffic to come in. And these are the only destinations possible from Sweden as of today, as of now. There are some more that don't that don't go every day. They go maybe once a week, twice or 3 times a week. And there is not much going on in the airport. Most of the shops are actually closed. Some are open, as you see here behind me. And only one coffee shop is open here behind me. Other shops are closed, and there are, as you see, not many people here. It's pretty empty. I will tell you now about the procedure on my way back. This is pretty standard and easygoing, since there is almost no tourists and almost no passengers. So pretty fast check-in. I was waiting maybe 10 minutes at the check-in line, and then there was absolutely no line at the security. So immediately I went through the security. There is no border control when I was leaving Sweden. And now I am in the departure hall waiting for the departure for the flight, and we will see if there is any border control at the arrival in Germany. I will tell you about that at a later point, but until now there was absolutely no problem with the travel, and it is really easygoing and comfortable. You feel like a VIP passenger because there are not many people there, and there are probably more people that actually serve you than the travelers, than the passengers. As you see, deactivated coffee places, almost no travelers, empty waiting halls, early departure halls. This is how airports in Europe look like in the times of Corona, in the times of epidemic. So I'm back in Germany in the German fast train ICE, as you see, Intercity Express, traveling from Frankfurt airport back home. There was absolutely no problems on the way back. In the plane you weren't obligated to wear a mask. There wasn't even a recommendation to wear a mask. There was no message from the service crew or from the captain about wearing a mask whatsoever. In fairness, most people wearing masks because they assumed you need to wear a mask in German public transportation, but there was no requirement for that, not even a recommendation to do that. So I personally wasn't wearing a mask, and nobody executed that. Nobody told me to wear a mask or anything like that. And upon arrival, and this is even more interesting, there was no border control whatsoever. You just left the train, collected your luggage, and left the airport. There was no border control and no identity check. So I made a round trip to Sweden and back without even being controlled, without that my identity was checked at any border, because there was no border passage, no passport control. So if anybody tells you international travels in Europe aren't possible at the moment, and we are talking here about leaving on May 28th or 29th and coming back on June 1st, it's just not the truth. If you do it properly, and there are cases where you can travel freely without limitations, right, in Europe, and I just did it. I wonder, what are your thoughts about that? Maybe your experiences, your feelings. I would like you to leave a comment about what the restrictions in international travel in your country are. About, are you allowed to leave your country? Are you allowed to exit your country, and under which circumstances, under which conditions? Under which conditions can you come back to your country, and what are the conditions to not be subject to quarantine? By the way, since there was no check, no identity check, no border control, there was also no quarantine for me. So there is absolutely no consequences in the quarantine to going to Sweden, coming back in Germany. I wonder what is the case in your country. Let me know in the comments below. And in the next episode of this series, I will tell you about general strategy, maybe to travel internationally. What are the things you need to take under consideration, and maybe how to use German specifics to travel to different European destinations over Germany. If you like this video, give me a thumb up. If you didn't, of course, thumb down. Subscribe if you haven't. Share this video with your loved ones, with your friends. I talk here a lot about living your life on your own terms, about living a free, independent life, about living a limitless life. So if you like this video, you will certainly like my other videos. That's it for today from my journey. I wish you a fantastic day. Let's do something extraordinary today.